Hi travelers, Tara here. Today is May 22nd, 2017. I am so suffering through allergies right now. It rained last night and of course it has been dry, very, very dry. So all of the rain has kicked up a whole bunch of pollen. So this is going to be a short reading. This is a general reading for today. No specific sign, no specific time frame. I have gotten all of the individual monthlies posted up. You can also sign up to the weekly newsletter that I'm doing. And I've got a couple of other videos that I've got coming for you later this week. I'm going to be doing a video on the Akashic Records, doing a bit of explanation about the Akashic Records. And then I'm going to show you guys how to make your very own dressing oil for your candles, okay? For those of you who like to do candle work, intention setting, or if you have a small altar. You can buy a lot of oils, but I'm going to show you how to put together some oils, show you some cheap ways or inexpensive ways to do that, and how to dress a candle, whether it's a regular taper candle, a tea light candle, or a 7-day candle. And the reason why I want to get this out, I'm going to try to bring that. It's going to be up on the website. It won't be here on YouTube. So it's going to be up on the website for the premium members. Is we've got the new moon in Gemini coming up on Thursday. And this is really, I just posted an article on the website. And this is going to be a very, very powerful moon for setting some intentions. The new moon always brings about an opportunity to start something new. The full moon is a completion and an ending. And because it's falling in the sign of Gemini, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So this is about the brain or the mind, mental communication. So you can really, really use this new moon to bring about some very, very powerful manifestation magic. So I'd already pre-shuffled the cards. And the card that came out, just flew out of the deck, was the Tower. Now, for some of you, and I checked, Uranus is sitting at 26 degrees Aries today. So it is coming up very soon to the 29th degree. That's the critical degree, right before it moves into the sign of whatever comes after Aries, Taurus, I believe. Yeah. So that's going to be some, excuse me, perhaps a lot of up and downs with the markets, money, bank accounts, you know, things like that. So the Tower rules Uranus, is ruled by Uranus. And Uranus is very, very erratic energy. And usually the Tower, when it presents itself, says that something has kind of come in and shaken you to your core. Something has come in, and so either this is, it's not always bad, the Tower card. Typically what the Tower does is if there was a situation that was really like on its last legs, then something may occur that will cause that situation to finally just kind of explode up on itself. And what that does is it actually clears the air on many different levels. It tears down that old structure that no longer could, you know, was supposed to be standing there, and clears the way for you to build something else. So I don't know if this is also a moment of clarity. That's your aha, your epiphany moment. So for some of you, this could be some kind of idea that comes out of the sky that is here to try and solve your problems, whatever that may be. We do have Jupiter, the great benefic, still hanging out in Libra, and will be in the sign of Libra until, is it October? Yes, when it will begin to move into the sign of Scorpio. And that's another money house. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to have Jupiter, the great benefic, in Scorpio. And then we're going to have Uranus and Taurus, 2 money signs. So that's going to be an interesting combination. I think 2018 is going to be kind of a wild, crazy year in terms of money and finances, the markets, the world economy, things of that nature. Okay, let's go ahead and lay the rest of the cards. Here is the 9 of Cups. Well, look at that. This could be a sudden wish coming true. Okay, here's that 7 of Swords. There's a 3 of Swords. Aha. Now it begins to tell the full story. There's a 6 of Cups. Here is a Knight of Wands. There's our Moon card, people. The Moon. And then the Seven of Wands. Now, isn't that interesting? I have the 2 sevens in the future vertical column. What's underneath the deck? Well, of course, with this energy, we need that. There is the Sun card, and that represents the sign of Leo. So I'm going to say that this might be playing out for some of you into July. Another thing that Uranus rules is it rules electronics, like gadgets. So cell phones, computers, calculators, any type of microwaves, any kind of electronic gadget. It's not the same like the Mercury does, but this is different because it usually represents the transmission. That's what I'm looking for. So this could be like wires, you know, that carries the energy. This could be like you're on your phone all of a sudden and your phone just shuts off for no reason whatsoever. So it's that kind of a thing. 2 sevens speak to false friends. Okay. And let me pull this up. I thought I had it up. My brain's really not working well because I am so... my allergies are just like crazy. Go ahead and pull up another tab right quick while I look at that one. And then I can, while we're waiting on that one, I'm going to go ahead and give you the first meaning of the 2 sevens. Okay. Now this is a 7 of Swords and the 7 of Wands. And for some of you, this looks like it could be a return of some kind of conflict. And I will explain that in just a second, because there's several. 2 sevens appearing in a spread together warn of false friends. Now I want to take a look at something before I give you that second. I have this 7 of Wands next to the Moon card, so I want to see if that has any significance here. I do sense that this is some kind of event hanging around. No, there is no just off the top automatic. Okay, so we know that 2 sevens could be warning of false friends. And then 2 sevens speak of self-confidence issues causing instability in the relationship. Yes, that makes perfect sense. You see here, suddenly we thought we had found exactly what it was we were looking for. Okay, just out of the blue. And this could have been some kind of sudden meeting. Yeah? But the 7 of Swords, traditionally the 7 of Swords is about lying or cheating or spying, gossip, somebody doing something behind your back, and you're not, in a sense, not sure exactly what the hell happened. And maybe this is what the 2 cards, and it happened, I think, quite suddenly. You thought everything was great. This was perfect. And then, boom, the person just maybe said they didn't want to see you anymore, or you caught them in a lie. You caught them doing something, perhaps. It may not have even been shady. It may have just looked shady. Nevertheless, if it was insecure, if it was insecurities that came up around this, okay, whatever it was, there was a trigger. And we see the 3 of Swords. Now, the 3 of Swords implies that whatever this thing was, there is some heartache and some loss in it. I don't think this is necessarily about 3 people in a situation, although looking at this row, this very well could be somebody coming back from the past. Here we have this Knight of Wands. I look at knights like messages or events. I mean, like events. And he's rushing in this way. So this tells me that it could even be that like I said, for some of you, this could be a battle or a conflict that's about to resurface here. It out of the blue, because the person just kind of shows back up. Okay. And the 2-7 speak to some type of internal conflict. For some of you, you're not exactly sure what to make of this situation. Maybe the person left quite suddenly. Okay. Sometimes when I see the 7 of Swords with the 3 of Swords together, it kind of speaks to me of somebody who really didn't have your best interest at heart. Okay, the false friends kind of a thing. It could also be a situation where we're not exactly sure if the person's telling us the truth. It's about intimate lies. Okay, it's about intimate lies, and it is, see, and for some of you, this may be coming up where you're going to have to make a decision about what it is you choose to do. And the reason why I say that is I have this 7 of Wands. This card says you're in a better position than you realize. And as you can see, it's attached to this Tower card. The 5 in the center, though, is about some outside influences. So for some of you, this could be you find out that a friend of yours has been talking bad about you behind your back, and has been causing a whole lot of, it's a childhood issue. It's one of your close friends, a childhood. And, or, you know, someone that you've known for a long time. For some of you, this could even be a sibling. We have these 2 cards of children. For some of you, this could be some kind of fight cropping up around children. Okay. For others of you, this is going back into battle and you're going to be fighting like kids. Why? Because it's come back around again. There's something that we don't know about this, though, because here is the Moon card. And the Moon card, we do have, I think, the full moon in June, at the end of June, or maybe July, will also be in Gemini. But yet, here is the Strength card. And this is the overall energy. For some of you, this is indeed somebody coming back from the past. Okay? Maybe this is like a high school sweetheart or a college lover. For others of you, because this is known sometimes as the soulmate card, for some of you, this is really a soulmate encounter that looks like it's either has gone sideways or will be going sideways. But it is this row across the center that is very odd to me. 3 of Swords, 5 of Wands, 6 of Cups. It's almost like the cards are saying, you know, you're fighting so hard over this, about this betrayal, because you really love that person. And you want it to be like it was before. Well, but there's something about the way it was before that wasn't steady. It wasn't solid. It wasn't on a stable ground to begin with. And either one of you or both of you could be dealing with insecurity issues. And maybe you're each trying to blame it on each other. Okay? There's a lot of... This is Saturn in Leo. This is Mars in Leo. And here we have the Leo card. This is Jupiter in Pisces, and this is Pisces. I want you to look at that. This is Sun in Scorpio, Sun in Leo. So maybe I'm dealing with, if this is not a Leo-Scorpio combination, then it is speaking to me perhaps about the North Node, South Node issue. Even though I don't have an Aquarian card here, except, well, I do. Uranus rules Aquarius. And then here's the moon in Aquarius. And the moon in Aquarius don't want to be tied down, okay? The moon in Aquarius can be a very detached, almost aloof kind of energy. And maybe that was the issue. Maybe you suddenly find out that the person really doesn't want a commitment of some kind with you. This is just an odd spread. Let me go to the Symbolism. It is really this row across the center. And I don't see any communication here. Well, I do, but it's and for others of you, this is going to be the discovery that you were betrayed. But I think that some of you are going to, like, this was the last time I'm going to have this fight. I'm not going to do it anymore. And you're going to, despite everything that everybody's telling you, despite everything that's going on, you're going to stand in that position. Defend your turf. So he's standing over a little plot of land there. I don't see this as a legal issue. This is Saturn in Libra. It represents the energy. The Three of Swords represents the energy of Saturn in Libra. Now, you know, this is really a bizarre spread. I'm trying to make sense of it. For some of you, this could be about the fact that maybe you really invested a lot, those 9 cups, in that, whatever this is. But it wasn't appreciated, or it wasn't accepted the way that you hoped it would be, or you thought it would be. Maybe the person pretended. This is just an odd spread. This definitely is some kind of betrayal. I just don't know what kind. Wow. I wasn't expecting to see that. Not surprised, just... And sometimes a 3 can be like a completion of something. You know, the beginning, the end, and the middle. But then it's like it flares up again just out of the blue. And this can be one of those relationships where can't live with them, can't live without them. They break up, they get back together. They break up, they get back together. It could be one of those things. But there's definitely been some kind of intimate lie or betrayal here. And I don't know if the cards are saying that it's the red hats, the red feather. I forget what that means. The red hat. I want to say it's clarity of thought, but usually that would be blue. Blue brings... There's something to do with the head here. We know that red brings passion. It brings anger. It's the color of blood. Now, there is that ancient interpretation of the Seven of Swords speaking to a home move. I'm going to just throw this out here. It could be that some of you may have bought a new home and you find out that the foundation, it's either been flooded or it's very weak. Okay? Or there will be a flood, like pipes bursting. Remember, we're talking about some kind of conduit here. I will throw that out. I will just put that out there. And maybe you really, you in a sense said, okay, well, this is it. I finally got my dream home. I got my dream home. You know, this is where I'm going to stay. This is the place for me. This is where I want to have kids, raise kids, invite my nieces and nephews, have the kids from the neighborhood come over and play. It is these three cards that are really just... And for some of you, whatever this is, I don't think you see it coming. I don't think you see it coming. It's almost like the cards are saying there's already something else that you're dealing with when out of the blue this happens. Let me take a look at this Five of Wands here. It's this row in the center that just, I don't understand it. Domestico, the helper or the collaborator. Now, remember, we might be dealing with somebody who is not your friend, a false friend. For some of you, this could be somebody that you trusted and you thought was your friend, somebody perhaps that you've known for a long time, but then you find out that that person has been doing things behind your... This is a Wands card, stirring up a lot of trouble, creating fights and arguments and discord. Here is the Amore card, the love card, the cherub. This is Cupid. Now, what's interesting about Cupid is Cupid represents infatuations. He represents not deep love. That's why he's blind. He lets loose the arrow, and wherever the arrow strikes is where he falls. But it's also about the pain of love, but the pain doesn't last long because the arrow wounds never go in. The arrows never go in very deeply. Okay? So he's just out blindly shooting arrows off at people. So Cupid is about intense infatuation, what may seem like love. You have to be very careful because Cupid can also be dangerous because people will have sex quickly without protection, and then you can get diseases and die, cause venereal diseases and stuff like that. So you got to be really careful with Cupid. You have to make sure, you know, what you're getting into. Don't be blind to it. Then we have the Belvedere. So it's kind of like it was a, maybe this was a hit and, you know, a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and the guy took off, and it has created a bunch of havoc for you. Maybe you've been trying to track that person down for some reason. Okay? Maybe you're like peeping their Facebook page or their Instagram page, and you're trying to see what the hell's going on with them because they disappeared off the face of the earth. But it looks like it's just a bunch of upheaval. Something that I'm going to look at this Tower card. Like you met the person and you just instantly just gave them everything. Why? Because he was exactly what that person was, exactly what you were looking for. This card sometimes will say you have to do a bit more research on the person because there's usually something about them that you don't know. And it is definitely some kind of intimate lie or betrayal. Most definitely. Let me look at this. Maybe this Belvedere foresight, great foresight and planning. Well, it's looking at this Six of Cups. God, but that person made me feel so good. Militare. Relationship with law enforcement. So what? Did somebody suddenly maybe go to jail? Maybe somebody stole something, but the thief is not here. But it's almost like the cards are saying, whatever this is, it in effect, it kind of stopped you from doing something perhaps that you should not do. Look at that as a gift. Yes, that shit's going to make you sad. There's the Amalato. That's just odd. Let's look at I want to look at the Seven of Swords. The relationship with law enforcement, the militare. But what do police officers and soldiers, the military, they do? They do black ops, they do secret things, some of them might be deep cover, but go undercover and pretend to be somebody that they're not, just to infiltrate and get in. This is very bizarre. This is some kind of betrayal by a friend. It really is. We have the alegria, pastime with family and friends. Here's the casa, the house or security. And there is the fedeltà. But it falls on the card of treachery. You know? It falls on the card of thievery, of plain old out and out fuckery. That's what this looks like. It looks like plain old fuckery. But I think there's more than one person involved in it. And I think there's a main instigator. And maybe that's what you don't know who that person is yet. Maybe you're getting a lot. People are telling you a lot of things and keeping up a lot of ruckus. Maybe there's a lot of chatter back and because sometimes this card, like I said, can be about social networks on Facebook. Maybe there's a lot of stuff flying across the internet. You know, people got theories. People got, you know, bits and pieces of information about whatever this situation is. Because definitely somebody got the hell out of Dodge real quick. Okay? Somebody came, they left town in quite a hurry after perpetrating this fraud, this fuckery. They got out of town real quick. They may have even done it under cover of darkness. And now you are left to deal with the aftermath of whatever this is. Okay? Now that part's starting to make sense. There's more to this story than meets the eye, though. There's something else going on here. The Moon card. There's more to this than meets the eye. I think these cards, the Moon card, it is the fear, it is the shadows, it is dealing with stuff, your emotions that you don't want to deal with. But at the same time, I think it's maybe saying somebody who doesn't really want to believe what it is that what they are seeing because they don't really see it right now. Okay? Maybe they don't believe that person would do that. Maybe they suspect that it's the person, this domestico. But they're refusing to believe that right now. It's too painful. Prigione. I'd rather just not even really know the truth because I don't even really want to deal with it. The Costanza. But see, that speaks to some kind of faithfulness or immutability. The situation doesn't change. Here is Esperanza, the hope. You know, I hope it's not that. I hope that person didn't do that to me. I hope that person didn't do what I think they did. I hope that person didn't say what but they did. It's going to be, and perhaps for some of you, it may even be the person that you least suspect. See that card sandwiched in between these two sevens? And it may be the person that you least suspect. The Strength card comes out to tell you that you are going to have to be strong during this time. And you may literally have to get out there and fight for every stinking inch of ground that you can reclaim. And don't listen to what other people are telling you. Keep your own counsel. Okay? If there is somebody that you need to talk to, I don't even know what to tell you in this situation because it's almost like you don't even know who to trust. This card says to get a hold of your emotions. Okay? Keep those in check. And if you can keep those in check around this situation, first of all, that is great, fantastic. But it is only through not getting very, very angry and not wanting to retaliate and being able to keep your emotions in check that you're going to be able to come through this with flying colors. And that may require that you have to risk something. I think if you can figure out that kind of calm, see that as above, so below. See that? Can you see that? The figure 8 on the side. Looks like she's got glasses on top of her head. Those are the only two repeater cards that I have, are the 2 sevens. And it's like almost just when you think everything's calming down, it comes back again. But it has to do, it's somebody close to you. You know, and if this is about a real estate deal gone south, that person knew, they knew that there were problems with the property. For some of you, it looks like you just, maybe you saw a house, you fell in love with it. That's my place. That's it. And you had already started in your mind making your plans to you know, enjoy your new home. But for some of you, this really is about a home issue now that I'm looking at it. It really is. Somebody pulled the wool over your eyes. That's what they did. They sold you a bill of goods. They picked up on your Cupid energy. I saw it. I just had to have it. Yeah. My dreams out of the blue. There it is. But the person that you dealt with and dealing with it, they knew they were perpetrating a fraud. This doesn't look like some kind of legal issue, but it looks like it might be turning into one. Let's pull one card here. Let me shuffle this again. Wow. You know, and it's almost like all of this was under the surface, and then now that Mercury has gone retrograde, it's like everything's out in the open now. Okay? You're starting to find out things that you just never saw. Didn't have any inkling of. This is not, there ain't no intuition in this. It's too much discombobulation going on. And some of you, I think, just don't believe that it has happened to you. It has occurred and that the person did that. This particular situation. See, that says don't stop. Okay. And I think that's why this Seven of Wands has come out. And that can be literally the card of standing your ground. And the cards are saying, you know, to hang in there and to be strong. And to try to keep your emotions in check surrounding this. See, she's reaching into the mouth of the lion. And sometimes this can be about just, how do I want to say it? Being patient, because it will come around again. You're going to get your opportunity. You're going to get your opportunity again. Okay? Now, let's pull one Heart Oracle Tarot. Wow, that's weird. Maybe right now, there's not a lot you can do. Because like I said, it's like a lot of you are dealing with the aftermath. You're dealing with the aftermath of it right now. And you're probably just trying to catch your breath. Because it's such a shocking, stunning kind of a revelation that the person would. And any time that somebody lies to you and pulls the wool over your eyes and takes advantage of you like that, that's a very intimate betrayal, whether that's a lover, a friend, or a business partner. Why? Because you put your trust in that individual. Okay? And so I think this is not really a lesson in terms of saying, you know, be careful who you trust. That's always true. That's always true. But then sometimes, you know, we just don't see it. We just don't see it. I think you're going to recover from this. It's just a matter of time. One card. Yeah, you will, because you got the fire in your belly. There's the sacral chakra. This is the chakra of personal willpower, sexual power. This is what gives you that motivation and drive to get out there and get what's yours. So let's read the, indeed, it's the orange, the color orange, to go along with that lovely strength card. Let's read the don't stop card. Wow. It says, this is not the time to give up. Continue to move in the direction of your hopes, dreams, and plans. You are on the right path, and you should see progress as long as you stay the course. It is very important that you stand your ground and believe in yourself. There's that strength card. Don't let others intimidate you into quitting. Just because they don't have your vision doesn't mean you shouldn't follow your heart. Now, remember I was talking to you about that sudden revelation, that aha moment, something that you see, that you, okay? That's what Uranus is like. Uranus is very, very, Aquarius is very, very visionary. And this can be, you know, suddenly getting some kind of idea, some vision, some prophetic vision, something that just kind of comes in, and suddenly you can see years and miles ahead. Okay? Well, of course, you know, depending on what you got going on, some people don't like that, and sometimes they will do things to thwart you. And if this is the case, and if this is really about jealousy and insecurity, somebody not wanting you to, I don't know, go after this particular vision, and they have betrayed you, whether this is in a financial sense, a romantic sense, know that this is a past life enemy. They're jealous and they don't want you. They're trying to harm you because you harmed them in a past life. So this could just be about a bit of karma being played out. The nodes did just change. So Don't stop, like the card says. Continue whatever that vision is, and whatever all this fuckery right here is, don't allow it to stop you. Okay? I know sometimes that's easier said than done, but the sacral chakra is your key. It's personal power. It is located 2 fingers below the navel. It relates to your emotions, desires, creativity, and sexuality. And basically what you want to do, it is your personal power. That's perhaps where all of this Leo energy is coming up, because Leo is about leadership. It is about having a generous heart. It is about going out there and doing it big. And, you know, sometimes you can be in a position where you just been kind of sitting, and maybe you thought everything was hunky-dory right where you were, and then suddenly you realize that shit just ain't right. You know, either way, it is a major change that is creating a bunch of havoc, a whole bunch of havoc, a whole bunch of fuckery going on. You know, you could be arguing with your kids, you could be arguing with your parents, you could be arguing with if this is about a property situation, now you got to go back and try to argue with the person that you've been dealing with, the real estate agent, the owner of the home. You know, I don't see the bank, although, I don't know. That kind of looks like an official building to me, but it doesn't read like that. This is really some kind of friendship betrayal issue, and it could be that maybe you wanted to go into business with somebody or buy property with somebody, and they just fucked you. They left out a whole bunch of stuff that they weren't telling you. Okay? They were hiding things from you. So, the sacral chakra is, it's getting out there and getting that stuff. So please don't stop. I can't even explain that anymore. So that's it. I do hope this message helped. And until next time, namaste.